Again, silent Muzinde, and I'm going to proceed from where we left last time. I think we had demonstrated how to get this data into Power BI, and we have said we have various sources that we use to get this data into this Power BI, and there are various transformational steps that we can do. And some of the transformational steps here include trimming the data, changing the data from uppercase to lowercase. Like you can come over here on text, then you say transform. You can you can say uppercase, and your data will be in uppercase. You can say lowercase, your data will be in lowercase, or you can say capitalize each word, and your data will be displayed like this. You can trim. You come over here and say, oh, I don't know, I need to remove the leading and trailing spaces. I trim all other things. So today, I want to demonstrate how to join data in Microsoft Power BI, right? And remember, this is Power Query Editor, one of the key tools for ETL, which stands for extract, transform, and load. So today I'm going to demonstrate how you can join the tables, right? So there are two ways of joining the tables in Microsoft Power BI, and they leverage on these two, right? So we have the merging queries and the appending queries. I think let me make use of this append queries for now. Append queries helps in joining the tables, the tables with the similar columns into one table. For example, we have sales January, sales February, sales March. We need to join into what? Into one table. So to join those tables into one, you make use of what? Append, because they have the same column structure. But once they have a different column structure, then appending doesn't work. You have what? You have to merge using a similar attribute column, right? Here I'm going to append those 2021 sales, 2022 sales, and 2020 sales, right? So on 2020 sales, these ones, if you can check here, we have the same number of columns, because that one is for what? Is for sales. So to append, what we do is you come over there. There are two options. There is append queries and append queries as new, right? This append queries there, right? It will overwrite, right? You add other queries on this. In this case, it will add other queries in this file, and then this append queries is new here. We create a new query, that is a new table. So we are going to select that append queries as new, right? And it will give you this dialog. If there are two tables, then you have to select the second table here. But in this case, we have three tables for 2020 up to 2022, right? This one is selected here, right? I'm going to select this. I double click, or I click here and then edit there. And in case maybe I've made a mistake, I can remove it by doing this, right? I just select the table that I don't want, then I click on the X, and from here you can arrange. Maybe I need this one to go down, I do that. I need this one to go up, I do that, right? This is the order, but the order doesn't necessarily matter in this case. In case it matters to you, you just have to order correctly, right? Then from here I'll select OK. Right? And then this new file was created, but it combines all the data from sales 2020 to 2022. Are you seeing that? So we have combined that one into one file, right? Let's call this one sales 2020 to 2022. Or else let's just say sales, let's say all sales, right? Then on these tables here, they are still there. If we try to delete this, right? Let me try to delete that, right? Are you seeing it cannot be deleted because it is being referenced by another, right? So what you can do here is to come over here. You can enable load or disable load. So by enabling loading, it means they will be loaded into our model. So enable. So here I'm going to select this so that it will not be added into our table, right? If I enable, it will be loaded into our module, right? Then from here, I will say disable load, or you can this one include in refresh report. All the tables in this file will be shown. That is the essence there. Other details there. Then I just disable load. Come over there. Disable loading. They will not be loaded. I think you shall see there. They will not be. This one sales file that we are now working with instead of those 3 separate files. Are you seeing that? So that is it on appending. Then from appending, I think I'm going to demonstrate the concept of I'm going to demonstrate the concept of merging. Let me see here. This product ID, right? On locations, do we have product ID here? Seems we don't. Location ID, let me see customer. Right. Do we have customer ID here? What do we have? Location ID. I'm looking for a table with the. To demonstrate the concept of merging, I'm going to use that budget one here. There's a location ID and there's these locations here. Right. So you can see here we have location ID here, we have location ID there. But the structure of the tables are different. Right. So for us to see to combine this table into one, we combine over location ID because this one is common between budget one and locations. So what you do is we need to merge as new so that we can see, right? Come over there. This one will overwrite, so I'm going to merge as what? As new. Then having done that, I will select we need the budget one. Then we need another locations. Then here we are going to select that, right? Then here I'll select this one. And there are various ways of joining this, right? There are various joins. There's this left outer. It will extract all rows from the first, matching the second, which means all rows from this, all columns I mean from this, all the details from this will be combined with this, right? With matching files from this, right? And there's also this right outer where you take all the details from the second, matching the first, right? There's this full outer, all rows from both where you take all the details from both, right? All rows from first table and all rows from the second table. Then this one, it will take the rows in budget one, which means rows in what? In locations only. Then there's this left anti rows only in what? In first, right? Then I think here let me just select the right outer, right outer, so that we take all rows from the second, then the matching rows from the first, right? Then here there's this use fuzz matching to perform this merge, right? So what fuzz matching does is that maybe let me say here, maybe if we're matching on this, right, on this column you can the name E, right? Let's say we were using this column you can the name E, right? When they are exact matches and they are close matches, right? Let's say someone on antennas there omits that S, right? Then it's just written antenna. Then it can be matched with that fuzz because it will match with the closest spelling, right? It will match with the closest spelling. Or else, maybe there's what can I say? There are some like generalization. The word generalization might have an S in American English and might have a set in British English, right? And those cases they are matched using this fast matching. They are all combined into what? Into one. They are matched using that, right? And here we have said we are going to merge over that location ID, right? Using the right outer join. Then I select what? Okay. We have this table here, right? And then here we can now that one is now in aggregated. Then here I need to select the location ID I already have it, the name, the country, the state, the type, longitude, area code, population, households, medium income. Then I select OK, like this, right? You can have something like this, and then it's saying locations dot, which means it's a column from what? From the locations, right? It's a column from the second table, something like this, right? Then instead of using the products and the budget one, you can comment one of them out because you have merged. Are you seeing that? Because we have merged. I think I just have added this one for demonstration purposes, so I'm going to delete that. I don't need it. I think let's say you need to add a new data source. You are here and you have forgotten a certain file. So what you do is come over there where it says new source, right? It says new source. Then you select the type. Here I need an Excel workbook, right? Then I can go to the file. Then I select. We do those steps that I wanted, right? Come over here. Then from here you can select the file that you want. And I select there. I'll click OK. Right? That is how you do it. It will be added here. But here I think it's needful that I demonstrate how to get file from a folder, right? Where maybe you need to get data from a folder. Maybe let's say you are working on a company, and this company is generating sales data each and every month, and the files, the columns are the same for that sales data. There are sales for January, February up to December. Maybe these files they are very very big, and you need to make sure that you combine them into what into one file for analysis, right? Maybe you want to analyze sales for 2026, and you have separate sales sheets. So instead of joining them one by one, you can just get them using the folder option, right? If you are in that Power BI, you can just get data using the general get data option that we demonstrated in our first video. Or from here, you can just say get data. Then here I select what? More. Right? Then I select more. I select the folder there. Right? On folder, I browse the folder. Then from the folder there, then we go to the downloads. Right? Then I'll go to the right. Let's say my files are there. I'll just select what? Okay. The exercises. Right? Then I'll select what? Okay. Then having selected this, let's say my files are here. I have many files. In this case, I have one. But let's say I have many files here. What I'll do is I'll select that what? I'll select that transform option, right? I need you to see something, right? Here, the data, we don't have the preview of that data because they are like binary files here, right? Then to combine those files, you have one file, you have two files, you have three files. Here it's binary content. So to combine, you come over there. There are two arrows pointing down where it says combine files. You then combine the files in that folder, right? You click on that, right? It will generate a template file. Then here it will give you the option to select the template file, right? Those are the files that are in my sheet, right? And let's say those are the same. I'm going to select this, right? This one is my template sheet. select object to be extracted from each file. So this template will be extracted from each of those files, right? I select what? Okay, that one is a template, and all the files they are going to be extracted after that, right? And all my files are now what? Are now combined into one. Are now combined into one, right? So this import from a folder, you need to have the similar column structure. Otherwise, it will generate some mismatched columns or some errors in the final file, in the final combined file. So you just need to make sure that they have the same column file. And in case I now have new files that I need to add into my analysis, what I'll just do is I'll just go to that folder, right? Where it says exercises, right? I'll just go there in the exercises folder. Then I'll add my files here. And having added my other files of the similar type and structure with that one that I've loaded, I'll just come over here. I'll just say what? I will just refresh. I'll just refresh all. Then my data will be loaded, including those new files. The data will reflect in my Power BI desktop. I think I will demonstrate how to refresh when I've fully loaded my data. So for now, let me delete this, and we proceed. Right? Then I've selected close and apply. So now my data I've extracted, I've transformed. Now it's now what? It's now loaded. So this is the end of the ETL process. Extract, then we have transformed, and now we are loading into Microsoft Power BI desktop. Right. This is my data here. And remember, there were sales 2020 up to 2021. We have disabled them from loading, so they were not loaded here. Otherwise, they were supposed to be loaded here. And this is our data. If you click there, you see the column names. It is right. And before anything else, we need to make sure that you go to the on the report view here. You can design your report, but before there, you can go to the table view and you can view the data here, right? This is your table with the data details here, and this, right, you can see there are a number of things here. That's a table that is created, right? um that's a table which is created. uh what are these? So these are relationships, right? These are relationships. These are relationships, right? So to demonstrate relationship, I'm going to make use of the example so that we can understand, right? So it will auto detect relations here to show you that this location ID, this table budget one, and the sales data is connected using that location ID, and these tables they are related using that location ID. So what do we mean? Let's say we have let's take an example. We are at a school, and this school has a student's database, right? And the student's database have details about each and every student. Then we also have an exams database where which only have the student ID, and then for each student ID, there is a subject, and it contains the marks for each and every subject, for that student, right? So for us to understand the marks that were scored by each student and the student name, we make use of that student ID in the table, right? In the table. For example, here, right? Let me make use of this, right? There is a customer ID and customer name. So this customer table here, is the details about each and every customer. And this one you have the details about the what? The sales, right? So they are connected here. You will see that customer ID to say are from this customer, right? So to see the customer name, you just look for them in the customers table, right? So for us to see the customer name of this relationship, it will link us to the name of that customer because here we don't have the customer name, right? So for us to see, you make use of this relationship. So it will help us access the details from this. Let me say, there's a customer name silent. How many sales does that customer name silent have? You look up using this. It can show you the sales associated with that what? With that customer name. So that is it on relationships. So this is what we call modeling. And the modeling is very important. Right? Very important. So I think to demonstrate it better, we are going to start creating relationships from scratch. We will create relationships from scratch, right? So I think I'm going to come over here, right? Then I delete this, right? I delete this. So you can delete from that. We have gone to the table view. Then we have said manage relationships, or you can go to the model view here, and you can delete manual like this, right? You delete, or you click there, you edit the properties. Maybe you want to change to make this active or what, right? Let me delete that. Let me come over here, manage relationships. Then I delete each and every relationship there, so that we can start from scratch, right? So the first way of creating relationships here is you go to the table view, then you select manage relationships like what I did, right? So there are two ways you can create relationships manually or automatically. So automatically what you just do is you need to click on auto detect there. You see found new relationships which have been added to the semantic data model. Then I select what? Close. Those are the relationships. And if I come over here, let me close. And if I come over here, I will see those relationships they are collected. They are created. Are you seeing that? Those relationships are created, right? And let's say I don't need to create those relationships manually. What do I do? Think it's you can come over there, say manage relationships. Then you can drag. You want to say select the table there. Say sales and what in the products, right? Then from here there's already a relationship there, right? Over this. But in case there was no relationship, you would select that, right? And this, then you would see here the direction of the relationship. You would see the direction of the relationship. And let me come over here. Right. And you can create relationships here by just dragging and dropping. Here you can see there's that customer ID and the customer ID here. You just pick that and put it there. It will give you this, right? New relationship. And this one is a man-to-one relationship, right? Those are the tables, and this. Let me explain this cardinality. That is the direction of a relationship, right? So let me start by this one-to-one. One-to-one, it means one row in this customer ID or in this sales table is related to one and only one a detail in this customer's table, which means each sales angaina customer angashi identifier just one customer here, and that one as good up enough because kuma sales one customer angaina machi and main sales takaite one to one, but one to one tunangura about one detail from the sales table um is identifying one and only one item in the customer's table. So that is it on one to one. Then there's this one to many, right? One to one a one item, right? One ID from this is related to many items in this sales table, right? That one is possible if we select the customers table first, right? Right. Let me say sales or sales, right? I do this, right? Then that customer ID and this customer ID. This one will work because one customer can have many products, but but maybe one product cannot belong to many what to many customers. So this is one many to many relationship because one customer can have many sales, and that is very possible, right? Then there's that many to one. So here we had this. Let me go back to that one. Here I need customers. There I now need to select the sales or sales, right? This is meant to one relationship now. It means at first I've selected that all the customers. So it means many sales belong to what? To one customer. Many rows in that one are related to one and in the second table. So that is the other type of a relationship. So there's many to one, and one to many. So these two are recommended, this many to one and one to many relationships. Of course, this one to one doesn't have a problem, but if it exists, you then need to make sure that you merge the tables. You merge the tables into one. And the merging is the step that we have explained. You need to make sure that you merge the tables in case there's a one-to-one relationship. And then there are also cases where you have that man-to-man relationship like this, right? Let's say that man-to-man relationship. It means that many many rows in this first table are related to many rows in the second table, and these ones are not recommended in Power BI. They are not distort your analysis. And remember, the analysis is remember the modeling is the backbone of your analysis. If the modeling is wrong, it can create wrong results. It can create wrong results. So it's very, very important to make sure that you come up with the correct model. And if they are man-to-man relationships, you have to dissolve them so that they can be one-to-many or many-to-one relationships. Right? So here we have that all sales table. We have said one customer can have many sales. So this is one-to-many. So we are going to select. So since this direction is from the sales to the customers, it means there are many sales to one customer. So it's meant to one relationship, right? And here there's this make this relationship active. If I select this, that relationship will not be recognized, though it will be there, right? There's a active relationship or inactive relationship. Then this cross filter direction here, it can be both or single, right? It can be both or single. Here we are saying it's many to one. It means uh, here it's saying a star, right? Maybe let me close there so that I can explain the filter direction, right? Are you seeing this? It means there's one there and there's a star there. It means one to men, right? One customer, one to men relationship. That star means many, and that one means one. And that arrow there, it's showing direction that this one customer ID here can filter many what many details here. For example, 5 lines of what of sales can be filtered using one customer ID. But this one cannot, this all sales table cannot filter the customers table. So that is the one direction. So let me try to change this to both so that you can see, right? I've selected this. You can see now the arrows are pointing to that and that. It means this customers and this can filter that. But this is not what we want. We need that sing for now. We need to sing footer direction. so that this customers table can filter the sales table only. And this one is disjointed, we can leave it like that, right? We leave it like that. And then I think let me also say when modeling, it's very important to make sure that there are a number of schemas or designs of these models. There's what is called a star schema, the snowflake schema, but for the sake of this class, I think let me explain the star schema, right? So I think if you can look at this, it's organized in almost like a star shape. It's organized in the form of a star shape, right? Where there's this central sales table here, and then there are other tables connected to it. This one is recommended. This one is recommended because it will result in an optimal model. And make sure that you have this sales table at the center, then the products there. And then on these tables, maybe let me say on these tables, there are two types of tables. There are two types of tables, right? There's what is called, and there's also what is called a dimension table, right? The fact tables are those tables with the data that is frequently changing. That can frequently change, right? And those dimension tables, they are the tables with the data that doesn't change regularly, right? The data that doesn't change regularly. For example, here on the customer ID and customer name, the customer's table here is an example of a dimension table. Why? Because the customer ID is just one. It doesn't change. If my name is silent, it will remain silent as long as I am associating with that business, right? So it means that I can store the details of that customer separately here, so that if I have a record of a customer, those details will not change. Unlike this sales here, right? We can see the order date. Let's say I have a customer silent, and that customer, the order date can change. I come to order today, I come to order tomorrow, I come to order tomorrow but one. Then you can see those details are changing, right? Then the price, I order this, tomorrow I order that, it will be changing. So those details about a business which will be changing, they are stored in what are called the fact tables. So this sales table here is an example of a fact table because this one is frequently changing from time to time, right? And those dimension tables, they don't change frequently. They don't change frequently. We also explain something to do with the storage mode. If I hover over there, you can see that it's showing the customer name. Then the storage mode, it's saying import. It's showing import. There are three types of storage modes in Power BI. And there's the import mode, there's the dual mode, and then there's the direct query mode. These are three modes. So how are they different? How they are different is that the import mode, we have connected to a data source, so that data source will be stored locally on Power BI storage engine. It means that you have imported the data and it will be stored on Power BI storage engine. So that is it on import mode. And besides the import mode, there is also this direct query mode. The direct query mode is where that data is not stored in Power BI. It's not there is no cache for that data, but you connect directly to the data source, right? For example, if I was connected to a SQL server, I was able to change the storage mode of these tables maybe to a live or direct query, where I can just, the data is not stored directly, but that data is imported, right? That data is connected directly to the data source without storing directly on a Power BI desktop. So the data is not stored on Power BI desktop. You just connect directly. If you need the data, it's queried by Power BI into your visuals. So the live or direct query. Then there's also the dual storage, where you can collect maybe the table is the import mode, and it also is direct mode. So that is it again on that one. So there are three modes. There is the import mode, the direct query or the live, then the dual or hybrid mode. Which modes are available in Power BI? I think let me save this file so that we can use it for the next session. Right. Right. Class file. It's sorted as PBIX, right? And we'll proceed from here. So I think we are done. So far, so good. We will take it from here. So this is it on joining the data. We have covered how to join the data. We have covered the storage modes. We have covered on modeling, how to create a data model and how to create relationships, how you can delete a relationship, how you can modify the direction of a relationship, the cardinality, among other things.